Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and we are in the Python basic series for beginners. Our today's topic of discussion is inheritance as we move on with the object oriented programming concepts in Python. In this video, we will cover inheritance, method overriding. Um, we will also have a look at multi-level, multiple inheritance, and constructor overriding along with super method. So let's jump in. What is inheritance? Process of inheriting properties of a parent class into a child class is called as inheritance. Now let's understand what is parent class and a child class with example. Let's revisit the example of class car. This class car can be subdivided into three different classes, that is sedan, SUV, and hatchback. This SUV, sedan, and hatchback could be termed as child classes, and class car could be termed as parent class. Now, parent class will have some attributes or say properties like brake, accelerator, etc. Alright. So same brakes and accelerator, these properties will also be present in a sedan car or maybe SUV, or it may be hatchback car, right? So these properties are inherited by these child classes from a parent class car, right? Now we will understand inheritance in detail by having a look at example. So before doing that, we also need to know what is method overriding. Method overriding is an ability of any object oriented program that allows subclass or a child class to provide specific implementation, okay, of a method that is already provided by superclasses. So the method will be provided by the superclass, but the implementation will be done differently in the subclass, or you may call as child class. In this case, the method in the subclass has same name, same parameters, and same return type as well, exact same signature, okay. However, the implementation may differ. So when this kind of situations are there, the method in the subclass is said to have override the method in the superclass. Let's have a look at it with example. So here we have defined a class called as parent. Inside that we have method named show. We have defined a child class named as child. If you could see here, we have specified the parent class name, which is parent. This indicates that this child is of class named parent, and it also has its show method. And then we have created object of both of the classes, object 1 for parent, object 2 dot child, and then we are trying to call show method, object 1 dot show and object 2 dot show. So even if object 2 is child class of parent, it calls its own show method, okay. So that's the reason the output inside child get displayed. When parent calls the show method, it gets called from its own class. So child uses the same name. However, the implementation or whatever the task inside that method belongs to its own class. Okay. So here, that's the reason inside child got printed and show method was called with child object, that is obj2. So next concept is multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, there will be two parent classes. In layman terms, you can consider including mother and father both as parents, right? So if you would see here, there are two parents, parent 1 and parent 2. Parent 2 has one method called as display. Parent 1 has a method called as show. Class child overrides show method and applies its own task, that is printing inside child, and and further object of child class is created named as obj dot. When we do obj dot show, it has that show method. It has overridden from parent 1. However, it doesn't have display method, and even parent 1 doesn't have display method. So at that time, it goes to parent 2 and does the job of invoking the display method and printing the message inside parent 2. Moving further, we will have a look at multiple inheritance. In this case, we will, instead of having multiple parents, we will go one level above, that is we will consider grandparent relationship as well. So there will be a grandchild, there will be a child and a parent. So here parent, class name parent, is grandparent, acting as a grandparent. So let's see, grandparent, in grandparent class, that is named as parent. So I'll say in a parent class there is a method called as display. In a child class there is method called as show, and in grandchild class also there is method called as show. This time we will create a object of grandchild and we try to invoke show method. So it has show method, it will invoke its own show method and display the output that is there inside that. So it's inside grandchild. And when it does g.display, so its direct parent does not have display method. So it will go to the grandparent class that is named as parent over here, and gets the and invokes the display method and gets the message printed that is inside dot parent. I hope this is clear, because this time its parent did not have the implementation, so it went to the grandparent. Okay, now calling the parent method within the overridden method. Here what we are doing is we are trying to call the parent method. So there is a parent class, there is a child class, both have show method. In this case, child also wants to invoke the method that is there in the parent class as well. Okay, so it has its own show method, all right, but it will also invoke in that show method. It is trying to invoke the show method of parent. So how it would do it? It would just mention parent dot show. So its own show method that has this message inside child, and the message that is there in there in its parent show method also will get printed. That's why you see first inside parent and then inside child being printed in the output. Then moving ahead, constructor overriding. Whatever we did with the method, similar things we can do it with the constructor. So this is our parent class, its constructor that is init. Then there is a child class and its constructor. However, if you notice carefully, what is inside the constructor of a child class, we are calling some arguments from parents class. Hence, we have written here child super. We are mentioning first parameter as a child. Then what we are doing dot init star args. Okay. So in this, what will happen is that super indicates that the parameter need to be taken, the args parameter need to be taken from parent class. All right. So when you do create a object of a class child and you pass the arguments 1, 2, 3, and 4, you would see C and D are child's own parameters. Those got assigned to 1 and 2, and after that, the parameters A and B were inherited from the parent class and got assigned inherited from the parent class, and 3 and 4 got assigned to A and B respectively. So this is something called as constructor overriding using super function, or you can super method. So they have also given different example. Now you would see here whatever we discussed in the previous example, when the child wants to use its own method as well as the parents method, same thing we are doing here. Instead of parent dot show, we are using super dot show. So you will get the output as inside parent, that is the message that is there in parent show method as well as the message that is there in child's method. Okay, so that's all about inheritance in object oriented programming. I hope I was able to clear this concept. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.